China is divided.
Divided indeed. Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and I had hands-on gameplay with Three Kingdoms. I got my hands on it and was able to play it, which is so cool. I'm really excited about it. I was a bit kind of lukewarm about it before, honestly. I thought it might be fun, but I thought, I don't know, without flying units and orcs and spells and things, I don't know, is there going to be much for sort of the Warhammer fans, you know? Have I been spoiled? Is you know, the historical side of Total War going to be ruined for me forever? Honestly, no. I am so excited about this game. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to explain why. There are some really cool things about it that I want to get into. But while we're doing this campaign flyover, I want to talk a little bit about the campaign quickly. So, on the campaign, there's a day-night cycle, which is awesome. I think we do see it go into the nighttime at the end of this. Anyway, there's a day-night cycle, which is brand new. That's really strange. I don't think it's sort of associated with turns. I'm not really sure yet. So that seems interesting. Very interested to know what is going on there. So that's going to be really fun. Also, there are spies. Spies are an awesome thing that they've sort of spoken to us. I haven't seen it in action yet, but it sounds like it's going to be so cool. So basically, you can recruit a character as a spy, and you put them in the recruitment pool of other factions. So they might be recruited as someone else's general or character. And the more people you have doing that, the more your spy network increases, and the more points you basically get to be able to spend on actions for those spies. And the actions can be, well, apparently there's a big range of things you can do, but you can basically screw over your opponents, which I think is hilarious. And one of those ways you can do it is actually to start a civil war, or to have that guy and his army basically, yeah, defer to you. So if you're suddenly attacked by a couple of armies and one of them is your spy, then suddenly you're going to outnumber the other guy. At least that's how I understand it. And it's all done by UI. No moving around agent pieces, which is very cool. So here the battle is about to start. So, a couple of things about this battle. We are playing in romance mode, so that makes the characters, you know, kind of like the characters in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the novel that covers this era of history, very famous novel. So, basically the characters are going to be like the heroes are in Warhammer, and they'll be able to, you know, kill hundreds of people, and be heroic, and shout so loud that people die. Utter nonsense. It's beautiful. Or you can play in classic mode, so the people are just going to be people. So if they're a famous general, they're still just human, and arrows can kill them, right? So it should be really interesting. So here, straight away, I'm moving these hybrid infantry. They are spearmen and archers, but weirdly, they default to melee attacks. That's kind of their main purpose, but they also have bows. So unlike Warhammer, where if there's a ranged attack available, it defaults to ranged attacks. No, if you tell them to attack, they'll attack stuff. So I have to quickly put up fire at will and position it behind. But you can see the trees are already ablaze from my opponent's arrows. That's right, fire arrows set trees alight, and that will scare the crap out of horses, and also people don't much like fighting in forests that are on fire either. So here I'm using a Flames of the Phoenix, which is one of Shen Ren's abilities. So I'm playing as a brother and sister here. So I have Shen Ren and Shen Xuan, I think it is. I probably butchered the pronunciation, forgive me. My Chinese isn't great. In fact, I know no Chinese at all, so yeah, sorry. Anyway, so these heroic characters have some like really cool abilities to use. So yeah, just big swathing attacks, kill hundreds of guys. Also, Shen Ren has a bow attack, which does a ton of damage if it connects, and it'll skewer multiple people. It's like she's got a ballista. It's very scary indeed. So here, cavalry charges, they feel great. They feel really weighty. I really felt like I was just, you know, cleaving through their archers. It felt good to be charging with them. So here, there's that ability again, and shoom, dead. That's right, took out the general straight away. So, thing is, not all of the characters in this game are going to be, you know, these famous heroes of old. So, some of them are just going to be normal guys leading some people, so you can kill them pretty quickly. But there will be a few, sort of better characters that I'll be facing. So, you know, we'll see that soon. But, yeah, so I'll wrap up this ambush pretty quickly. But there are actually going to be two other parts of their army that I'm going to have to face soon. But, I mean, looking at this, the game is beautiful. It uses the Warhammer engine. Or at least, you know, whatever the engine's called now that Warhammer also uses. So, no Attilla engine, so if people were a bit concerned after Saga came out that all the historical titles were just going to be using that same engine, no, this is using the new one, and it feels fantastic to control. And also, all the control schemes, totally the same as Warhammer. I love how it positions the troops. It's really nice. Just those little sort of, I don't know what to call them, those little markers on the ground to show where the units are going. I think it looks really slick. There's a lot of stuff that's just beautiful about this game. The UI is superb. And also, the unit cards down at the bottom, having them in different sizes so the characters really stand out, I think is really nice. It adds a lot of character. And unlike Warhammer, which kind of did away with a lot of unit formations, I mean, yeah, Bretonnia can go in, you know, lance formation with their cavalry, but everything's got a load of formations again. So it has that added level of complexity. So if you're worried about, oh, without spells and stuff, it's going to be a bit too simple. No, there's definitely a lot of different things you can adopt, which I think is really cool. So, just, God, running those people down with the cavalry. Absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, so as I understand it, each character is going to have their own retinue, but you can also, I think that's only going to be 2 units per character, and then the rest will be from your recruitment pool. So you still want to give them units that they're good with, because they will be able to give bonuses to sort of the units under their command, which I think is really nice. So there's going to be a little bit more interesting management going on, I feel. So, I think that's going to be really cool. Yeah, the characters, obviously, just superb design on them. I absolutely love the look of them. And, yeah, we're going to see them getting into combat again soon. So here, I'm setting up, basically, to shrug off the rest of the ambush. So you can see there's a unit coming from behind. Quite a lot of troops, a lot of spearmen, a lot of cav, and quite a good fighter, too, with that general. And there is another one cutting off the pass. You can see that marker up at the top, that little objective marker. That signifies where I can escape. So, in ambushes now, you can escape. So, that's pretty great. It's not going to be fights to the death anymore. You know, it's not going to be one of the armies gets wiped out. No, if you truly are outmatched, you can still save your characters. You can throw in units to delay the enemy army, and you can escape with these characters, because there's no wounded states in this game, right? If the characters get killed, they're killed. So, it's still realistic, even in romance mode, you know? Death is death at the end of the day. So yeah, it's bad if you lose someone. It's not like a legendary lord or something in Warhammer where you just recruit them again in 5 turns. No, you want to get these guys out of there. So being able to escape from an ambush is really cool. It's a really nice touch. So, here, beautifully, the AI, I mean, it did rush in a bit here, I think, but generally it is very clever. You'll see they do adopt their spears in a really sort of decent manner to try and ward off my cavalry soon. But, yeah, catching their swordsmen out, you know, off guard with my cav, completely decimate them. There's a real rock, paper, scissors thing going on. Certainly with these units, they all seem a similar quality, I think. So it's, you know, swordsmen will kill spearmen, spearmen will kill cavalry, cavalry will kill swordsmen, and it seems very obvious in this battle. Because I honestly have no idea what tier any of these units are, so I'm not sure exactly if that's going to be a constant throughout. I don't know if it's going to be, you know, heavy cavalry will be able to get through certain spearmen and things like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, so here, doing a ton of damage to that general, and he will soon flee. He won't fight to the death. So this isn't a duel. And duels are something we'll see in a second, and I think it is a nice touch. I'm sure you've seen it in some of the other videos, but honestly, it feels great. This is actually the 3rd time I played this, and this is the only battle that I wasn't challenged to a duel. In the other 2 battles I played, the AI was constantly challenging my characters to duels, which felt really good. You know, you can accept or deny it as you want. And in fact, in the first game I played, I just played it on normal difficulty. Just to test the water. This is on hard difficulty, by the way. So, a lot more challenging. I actually failed the 2nd time I played, because I played on hard difficulty. But that was mostly because I had Shen Ren duel literally every single character, because I wanted to see how many people she could kill in a duel. Yeah, it was the 3rd person got her, just. It was like, you know, the next hit would have won, and yeah. And he got his hit in first, which is a shame. And then everything broke. Yeah, people don't like it if the general dies. Same as anything. But, huge amount of damage on his characters there. And now, I'm going to challenge him to a duel, now that I've softened him up a bit. So yeah, my cavalry, I'm trying to rear charge as much as I can onto those spears, but the spears are the only thing that I can really fight. Maybe I should have gone for the cavalry, but it's fine. I needed to back up the rest of my troops over there to try and win that engagement. So here you can see with the duels, they get off their horses and everyone spreads out so they can fight, which I think is the coolest thing. It turns into like a real sort of landmark in the battle, which feels great. It feels really good, and it is beautiful. They will have these amazing fights. So it's a lot of fun. So, oh yes, so Shen Ren is the duelist character in this army. She's the real warrior, whereas her brother, Shen Xuan, I think it is, something like that. He's basically the commander, so he has a load of buffs to people around him. you know, to his units, including there's a 900% bonus to charge defense. So charge defense clearly works very differently in this game, and I wasn't aware of that. I don't know how exactly it works, but I just know it's different to Warhammer. So the stats are going to be a little different, which is cool to know. So here, you can see I was trying to do an ability, but no, she had to get on a horse first. So now I'm using that bow attack, and yeah, I think I killed him. Unfortunately, he was off screen. Sorry, guys. But yeah, he died. He got super shot. So that's pretty funny. So yeah, she's going to wade in using Flames of the Phoenix, which I think is a cool spell. So, not spell, ability. So boom. Load of damage. Absolutely wonderful. So I'm just charging my cavalry in and out combat. And honestly, it feels great. I really want to play more of this, which I'm very surprised about. I thought it might be fun for a bit. But no, I'm super psyched for this, guys. I'm so excited. And these battles felt really pitched and interesting, and there was constant back and forth. And I had to work overtime to really get the most out of all my units. It felt like the more micro you do, the more charging you do with your cavalry, the more you get out of it. It wasn't just a case of make sure you got your stuff in a good line and the battle will eventually end. No, it felt really organic. Really sort of everything was flowing well. And you could really change the outcome. And it felt great, honestly. The battles are superb. And yeah, with the little campaign mechanics, you know, the spy mechanics and stuff, I think it's going to be some beautiful moments in this game. I think it's going to be very good indeed. So basically just wrapping up the enemy now. And Shen Ren has actually taken a ton of damage. I'm going to try and use a little bow shot again, because it does skew a load of units. But once again, I sort of fumbled this. They're already running away. So she just kind of shoots where I told her to, and yeah, it'll hit next to a guy's foot, and that's about it. Yeah, it's amazing when it hits. It is amazing when it hits. I've seen characters lose like half their health getting hit by that. It's great to soften them up for a duel. But yeah, the duel mechanic, absolutely fantastic. In the first game I played, because obviously this was a one-off battle, I didn't have to worry about campaign or any, you know, any lingering problems. But in a duel, I actually interrupted it. You can interrupt duels if they're not going your way and you really can't afford that character to be killed. So that's going to be a nice touch, I think, having to make that decision whether or not to, you know, be dishonorable, basically. So in my first battle I had, it was the brother was fighting someone. I didn't realize that it was the sister that was the good duelist. I didn't know their stats at all when I first played. So I had the brother, Shen Xuan, dueling someone, and he was losing. So I had his sister interrupt the duel, so she just rode through into that big circle on a horse and basically just cleaved the guy in half. Just one hit, dead. And then I got victory immediately because the whole, you know, enemy army broke at that point, and the narrator was just shouting dishonor at me. And honestly, it felt fantastic to have someone shouting at me like that. It was really funny. So yeah, a lot of potential, but apparently that does have a lot of horrible sort of morale penalties across your whole army. You know, they don't want to follow someone dishonorable, right? And that will linger in campaign. It'll have a lot of negative connotations to interrupt a duel. So that's not something you really want to do. But it was funny, so I did it. I wanted to see what would happen, and it was very satisfying. So I'm afraid I couldn't show you that one here, unfortunately, but it was a lot of fun. But guys, the battles feel great. One thing did I mention there are formations? A lot of formations. Yes, I did mention that. So if you're worried about complexity, you've got that. Charges feel really visceral and scary, so there's that too. Honestly, there's a lot going for this game. I cannot wait to play it again. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing it in action. And yeah, I mean, this is early. This is early days. I don't think it's out for months yet. So I mean, I think spring 2019, I think, is the release date. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done on it. But even this, you know, little demo they produced, it is superb. I had a wonderful time playing it, and I wish that I was able to play it more, and I wish I was able to play more than one battle. It felt fantastic. So, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and, yeah, for more of this, I'll definitely be playing more Three Kingdoms when they let me. So, look out for that. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.